Good afternoon, you're welcome to Fliptv News. I'm Christian Chico. Let's take a look at the top headlines. Planned adoption of Jonathan tears APC apart, according to reports. On ASU strike, Senate steps in. Chrisland says scandal, 4 teachers get 1.2 million naira bail. And killer of park chairman in Lagos arrested. Chinese firm abandons Nigerian worker after losing fingers. Alcohol made me do it, man who defiled minors says. Nigeria has spent 297 billion naira on importation of paper in 6 months. Now to sports, new Super Eagles coach to be announced Thursday. That's from the NFF president. Now to the news in detail. Some All Progressives Congress leaders have stepped up moves to adopt former President Goodluck Jonathan as the party's consensus presidential candidate in 2023. Investigative journalists on Tuesday learned the moves formed part of the discussion between the former president and the APC national chairman Abdullahi Adamu in Abuja Monday night. It was gathered that already the party leaders, including 2 northern governors, had reached out to other members of the National Working Committee to ensure the adoption of Jonathan as the consensus candidate. But it was learned that the moves by the former president and his supporters had generated a groundswell of anger from other contestants who felt the plan would amount to injustice if it sailed through. The ex-president and his backers were demanding that he should be adopted as the consensus candidate without going through indirect or direct primaries. The press on April 23rd reported that Jonathan had given some conditions for his backers in the APC before he could join the party's presidential race. According to the report, the former president is seeking an open endorsement of his presidential ambition by the president, Major General Muhammadu Buhari. Jonathan is also insisting that he should be saved the rigor of facing founding APC members, including the national leader of the All Progressive Congress, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, the Vice President, Prof. Yemi Osinbajo, former Imo State Governor Richard Okorocha, and the Minister of Science and Technology, Ogbonnaya Onu, during the party's presidential primaries. Now to the ASU strike. Senate President Ahmad Lawan on Tuesday said the upper chamber will wade into the ongoing strike action of the Academic Staff Union of Universities. Speaking with officials of the National Association of Nigerian Students, Lawan faulted the 2009 agreement between the federal government and ASU. He said the agreement should not have been signed by both sides because there is no way government will provide the kind of resources agreed to in the document. Senator Lawan appealed to the students to avoid confrontation and not disrupt political activities. NANS has threatened to shut down all federal roads in protest against the strike. Also on Monday said it was extending its strike for another 3 months. On the Chrisland sex scandal, the Lagos State Police Command has arraigned 4 teachers of Chrisland schools, Lagos State, for allegedly covering up sexual acts involving some pupils of the school. The teachers were arraigned on Tuesday before a Yaba Chief Magistrate Court on 2 counts of conduct likely to cause breach of public peace and attempt to pervert justice. The charges read that you, Oladotun, Sotunde, Elisha Tajuddin, Rhoda Olanikpekun, Ajiboye Ahmed, on or before April 25th, 2022, at Chrisland Schools, Victoria Garden City, Idimu, Lagos, the Lagos Magisterial District, did conspire among yourselves to commit felony, to wit, conduct likely to cause breach of the peace and indecent practices among your school pupils during the participation in the World School Games, thereby committing an offense punishable under Section 4.1 of the Criminal Law of Lagos State 2015. Having returned from the World School Games involving your student, did intentionally obstruct, pervert, or defeat the cause of justice by concealing the indecent act of your school girl sex video among the students before it went viral, therefore committing an offense punishable under the Section 97, Subsection 1 and 3 of the Criminal Law of Lagos State 2015. The defendants pleaded not guilty to the 2 charges. The defense team led by Demola Animashong, asked for bail in liberal terms. The Lagos State Police Command on Tuesday said it arrested the alleged killer of the chairman of the Ojudu Okada Riders Association, Mr. Laba Williams. The command spokesperson, SP Benjamin Hundeyin, confirmed the arrest to the news agency of Nigeria on Tuesday. He said the alleged killer of Mr. Laba Williams, chairman of the Ojudu Okada Riders Association, is in our custody. The investigation into the case has commenced immediately. Peace has returned to the place. Some patrol teams have been deployed to the area to ensure peace. It was reported that the chairman was stabbed to death on Monday at Kosoko bus stop in the Ojudu area of the state over collection of levy. Sources had earlier told NAN that Williams was stabbed in the neck by a colleague following an argument that ensued over payment of levy after the commercial motorcyclist dropped a passenger at the bus stop. The chairman was rushed to a hospital where he was confirmed dead on arrival, one of the sources said. On Chinese firms, 22-year-old Daniel Kayode is on the brink of losing his left hand after suffering an industrial accident at a Chinese company, Swiss Polo, as they say, in the Obafemi or the local government area of Ogun State. Journalists gathered that Daniel, an assistant supervisor, was working when one of the machines caught part of his left wrist and fingers. Reporters gathered that while Daniel was writhing in pain as blood gushed out of his hand, some of his colleagues rushed him to the Springford Specialist Hospital for treatment. Daniel, while narrating his ordeal to our correspondent, said he was later referred to the orthopedic hospital Igbobi, adding that his company abandoned him after he got to the hospital. He narrated his experience in these words: "I work with an assistant supervisor in the tailoring section of the company. My job is to go to the cutting section to cut out materials for collation and to confirm if they are complete. But on April 26, 2022, while performing my duty, the machine I used to cut malfunctioned and it cut my wrist. I was immediately rushed to a nearby hospital. My mom visited me and we were told that I would undergo a hand study before surgery. I was told to deposit some funds, but because I could not afford the money, I told my mom to request funds from the company. She later told me the company declined to fund my medical bill during treatment. I passed out around 3 p.m. and when I woke up around 6:40 a.m., I realized my hand has been bandaged. I was later transferred to the Igbobi Orthopedic Hospital. Since then, the company has abandoned me at the hospital. I underwent surgery on Friday, May 6, 2022. I feel helpless and unwell. It is the company's duty to take care of employees who sustain injuries while working." An Okada rider identified simply as Godwin has been accused of defiling his 10-year-old in-law in Kashu community in the Makurdi local government area of Benue State. Crime reporters gathered that the minor was running an errand when she visited a chemist. During interrogation, the victim reportedly told the chemist that her aunt's husband had sexual intercourse with her, adding that when she complained to her aunt, she shrugged it off. Adam said the whole thing started around 10 p.m. on Saturday. About 15 men in Kanshu community, Makurdi, brought Godwin to my friend's house. My friend's name is Mfe Shaminja. He is an in-law to Godwin's wife. Shaminja was not around when the crowd came, but when I saw the crowd, I moved closer to know what happened, and they narrated what Godwin did. They said the young girl went to buy something at the chemist, and when she saw a nurse, she started complaining of severe stomach ache. It was at this point the question we asked, and motorcyclist was arrested and confessed to the crime. Now to business. Nigeria paper mills have collapsed years after privatization, forcing the economy to depend on imported paper for its needs. According to data from the National Bureau of Statistics, Nigeria imported paper and its allied products worth 296.696 billion naira between July and December 2021, while paper valued at 188.137 billion naira was imported in the third quarter of 2021. Imports in the last quarter of the year was estimated at 108.559 billion naira. A former chairperson of the Pulp, Paper and Packaging Group of the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria and Chief Executive Officer of FAE Limited, Mrs. Layo Bakari Okewo, told the media that the local paper industry was dying and in need of urgent government intervention. She said, "We need to have a functional paper industry in Nigeria. Egypt has 25 paper mills, but how can Nigeria, with a bigger population, have no functional paper industry?" Bakari Okewo said governments at various levels must provide the right enabling environment for the industry to operate. This is a sector that has been abandoned. Let us forget about what has happened to our paper mills and focus on the crisis in the paper sector. We want the government to save this sector by providing the enabling environment, she noted. Now to sports. President of the Nigerian Football Federation, Amaju Pinnick, has exclusively confirmed to sports journalists that a new coach for the country senior national team will be announced latest Thursday. The Super Eagles have been without a full-time manager since December 2021, following the sacking of Gernot Rohr. There has been an outcry over the delayed appointment of a coach for the team, with the 2023 AFCON qualifiers set to begin next month. But Pinnick confirmed the Eagles would get a new coach latest Thursday after meetings with Sport Minister Sunday Dare on Monday. Reports say officials of the NFF are keen on signing Portuguese Jose Peseiro, who previously coached Venezuela, while the ministry wants more coaches interviewed for the job to select the best for the three-time African champions. The outcome of the meeting with the minister was very good and cordial, Pinnick told journalists. All the minister wants is fair play and not just Peseiro. He wants us to weigh other options, and we will be announcing the new Eagles coach latest by Thursday. I don't know who that will be yet, but we are talking to many of them and we have had Zoom meetings with them. While it was learned that Peseiro is the leading candidate for the job, several other big names like former Barcelona manager Ernesto Valverde, ex-PSG and France coach Laurent Blanc, former PSV Eindhoven manager Philippe Cocu, and former Sampdoria and Cagliari manager Walter Zenga have all been touted as possible candidates for the vacant Eagles head coach position. With that, we have come to the end of Fliptv News